In this video, we mix a deep house style beat using Waves plugins in Ableton Live. The stems have been provided by Hong Kong-based producer Milam, who produces dreamy deep house and techno inspired by East Asian elements such as Buddhism and anime. You can follow Milam on SoundCloud by clicking the link in the description, and you can also download the stems by clicking the link to the video's article version, which is also in the description. Here's the unmixed beat we were provided. And here's our final mix. We've been provided with 12 stems for this beat, some vinyl crackle ambience, drum stems, including a kick, a hat and clap loop, 2 hi-hat loops, a percussion loop, and here's the whole drums. A lead synth, some tremolo keys, and 2 vocal samples that are hard panned. Milam's also included bounces of his return effects, reverb and delay stems. It's always good to color code your tracks and group similar elements into subgroups to make it easier to find your way around and apply group processing. We grouped all of the drum elements, including the percussion stem, while also grouping the 2 return effect stems and 2 vocal stems. At the very bottom, we placed the original full bounce provided, so we can go back and forth between the producer's version and our mix. This is crucial as it can prevent you from getting too carried away while mixing. For the last step of preparation, we've loaded up a snippet of Capote's tune Temptation because it has a similar driving beat with a minimal number of elements. Mixing without a reference can be like going down an endless tunnel, so always be sure to have 1 or 2 similar tracks in your project. You may have noticed that there is no bass stem. As a result, we're going to need to get as much low end as possible from the kick and the keys stem that feature some low rumble. First, load up Voxengo's free spam plugin to find the kick's root frequency. This will show us exactly where we need to boost to get some more knock and weight from the kick. Hold your mouse over the highest point in the kick's graph and span will show which frequency and note is the root. We see that it's around 44 to 45 Hz. Load up Waves R-Bass or any other low frequency enhancer on hand and make a slight boost in this specific area. This immediately brings our kick closer to the kick in our reference track. For the keys, we're going to use multiband processing. If you haven't already, be sure to pick up Elephant's splitter audio device for Ableton, as it immediately splits any channel into 3 chains of lows, mids, and highs. Load up splitter on the keys channel and set the mid-low to around 137 Hz. This means that the low chain of splitter will occupy anything under 137 Hz. Insert an instance of Waves Submarine or any other sub-generator plugin like Waves Low Air on the low chain, and its default setting will be more than enough to add a good layer of subs. You can always lower the mix knob if it's excessive. The low-end sub-rumble makes the stem a great replacement for a classic bass part. Place a compressor after Submarine and sidechain it to the kick. This will provide that classic pumping effect and make sure the kick doesn't have to fight with the bass to cut through the mix. We also placed an instance of Metaflanger on the high chain to give the keys some stereo width. You can do this with any phaser, flanger, or chorus plugin to taste. We'll start work on the rest of the drums with the clap loop. When comparing our clap to that of the reference, it's not coming through as punchy and we're not really feeling its hit. A quick solution is a transient shaping plugin, so insert any one you have on the clap. We used Waves Smack Attack and increase the attack by a good 30-40%. You can also increase the sustain slightly to give the sound more weight. A large increase of the attack parameter will make the part much louder, so be sure to compensate by lowering the output volume of the plugin. The other individual drum stem we're going to process is the percussion. The loop already sounds great, but giving it some stereo width will help it pop out. You can achieve this with any chorus or widening plugin, but be sure to keep the dry wet low so the effect is felt instead of heard. We reached for Waves Doubler plugin that combines the original signal with slightly delayed and repitched versions. The Act Guitar Wide preset is definitely a favorite for a quick widening effect. With all of the drum parts grouped, we can process the whole group as one. The goal is to add some brightness and presence as well as some more punch via parallel compression. Waves Aphex Vintage Aural Exciter plugin is great for this, so load it up, select the cowbell preset, and adjust the AX mix knob to taste. For the parallel compression, insert an audio effect rack and create an additional chain. Now that we have two chains, we've doubled the signal and can process the chains separately. Keep one dry and insert a compressor on the other. We used Waves one knob pressure that is perfect for achieving an over-compressed sound. Remember, the idea with parallel compression is to combine the dry dynamic version of a sound with a super compressed and squashed version. Now that we have the drums down, we can take a look at the dreamy lead synth. This is deephouse, so it is really important for the synth and our pad sounds to have a wide presence. A quick trick to achieve this is using a return channel with a stereo widening plugin on it. Create a return channel and insert Waves S1 Imager or any other widening plugin you have and increase the width to its max setting. The next step is sending around -7 dB from the synth melody to this return channel, and the effect will immediately be felt. Saturation is a great way to start processing the whole mix as it can add a common character to all parts. We used Abbey Road Saturator's drum bus preset and slightly tweaked the blend, mix, and ratio knobs. Next is some compression, and the LinMB multiband compressor can do a great job of adding cohesion and balance across the spectrum. We select the multi-electro mastering preset and then lower the master threshold for the compression to kick in across all of the bands. You can then slightly adjust the individual thresholds to taste. Insert any limiter to prevent clipping by setting the out ceiling to -0.3 and use a meter to make sure that your RMS levels are no more than -6 to -5. Any more loudness will surely reduce overall dynamics. If you're going to send your track out for mastering, keeping RMS levels at -10 to -15 is a better idea. And here's our final mix.